Hey guys, I'm here reviewing a hit show so far by whatever I've seen. It's only a play and it is my first Broadway play ever. So that was really exciting. I saw it on Wednesday, October 8th. I went to the matinee and I did standing room for half of the show and then they moved me for the other half. So yeah, it's only a play. So it's only a play. It's about the comedies of Broadway. It's a comedy about the comedies of Broadway, and you're taken into a story set in modern time, and you're like at this open night party of Matthew Broderick's character Peter Austin's new play, The Golden Egg, and then you are introduced to all these characters. Of course, Peter Austin played by Matthew Broderick, Virginia Noyes, the lead actress in the play, played by Stockard Channing, Frank Finger, the genius director, played by Rupert Grint, James Wicker or Wacker, played by Nathan Lane, and he plays Peter Austin's best friend, who's like pretty famous because of his sitcom on ABC. And then there's Ira Drew, a theater critic, that he's played by F. Murray Abraham. And then we have Mika Stock, who played Gus P. Head, and he's the coat check guy. And then there's Megan Mullally, who played, what's her character's name again? Julia Butter. She's the producer of the play. So they're all upstairs in Julia Butter's like very fancy house. So the party's going downstairs and then they're upstairs in the bedroom just like anxiously waiting for the reviews to come out for the play. And this is, by the way, Peter Austin's, Matthew Broderick's character, Broadway debut. So he's like really anxious for the reviews. And James Wicker, Nathan Lane's character, he's like secretly hoping that the show gets bad reviews because he was offered the role for the lead guy and he doesn't want to see like the new lead guy like get a Tony nomination, or because that could have been him. So but then he also wants to play to succeed because that's also his best friend. So yeah, my opinions on the show. I absolutely love the production. It was hilarious, and the actors like really delivered. I actually learned more about Broadway in this show, honestly. And surprisingly, I heard more laughter in this show than I did at Book of Mormon, at Gentleman's Guide, at Aladdin. Like all these comedies I've seen before, I've heard more laughter in this show, and it's surprising because most of the people in the audience were like 50 to 80 years old. So that was surprising. Yeah, so now let's talk cast. Nathan Lane. Nathan Lane was amazing, and it was so great to see him on a stage. He is like comedy heaven. Like, he just delivered those jokes so well. He has like such great comic timing, and like he needs to get nominated this year. I would be really upset if he doesn't. Matthew Broderick, he was okay. He didn't have that much like material to actually like rave over him. I feel like if his character was one of the characters who were like not well written, and I didn't really care for his character even though he was a lead. His character was sort of annoying at times, but he worked well with what he got. And I also wrote that his character reminded me of David Shane in Bullets Over Broadway because they're both playwrights. They both sort of annoyed me. And yeah, his character also wasn't given any jokes. It wasn't given like more material than Nathan Lane's character, better material than Nathan Lane's character. And also he had a few good monologues. Like he had a monologue in the first act, I believe, speaking of how like how sorry he is for Broadway because Broadway is going like nowhere. There's all these revivals and all these Disney shows, all these Disney movies becoming live, and all these West End transfers, and he's just tired of it. But yeah, his character was very like speaky, and for a musical comedy, I feel like if his character needs to be a little more funny. But I don't really see a nomination for him. But I mean, he worked well with what he got. So yeah, Megan Mullally, she was amazing. She was so funny. She played Julia Butter, by the way. The producer. She was like really nice, and then she was like, I'm gonna say an airhead. She is like, she doesn't believe, and not believe, but she doesn't like cursing and stuff, and she doesn't like the F word, the S word, and the K word. And I'm gonna tell you guys what the K word is. Cunt. And that was so funny during the second act. And she has like the southern voice to her. And yeah, her first act was really, really good. But the second act, I have to say, was all Stockard Channing. She was brilliant. She was great. She was maybe... No, she wasn't. Like, her, Nathan Lane, and Mika Stock were honestly my favorite parts of this show. She has great comic timing too, and she had me crying in the second act. So there's like this ankle bracelet that she wears because she's like on parole, and it was going off during the performance, and she got really bad reviews. Her character, not really her. And she's like doing cocaine on the set, and it's just so funny. And I heard that she had like a leg injury or something, because I realized that she had a cane during the performance, but she worked well with it. Yeah, I want to see Megan Mullally and Stockard Channing get nominated. If Stockard Channing doesn't get nominated, I really hope Megan Mullally gets nominated, because they were both amazing. Rupert Grint, he was good. His character was like really weird. I felt like if he overacted at times. I feel like if his character and the energy that Rupert Grint had and Matthew Broderick had, I feel like if they just needed to swap, like he was overacting, maybe Matthew Broderick was underacting, I'm not sure. But oh yeah, Matthew Broderick has like this voice to him that was like, I don't know. But yeah, Rupert Grint, he was funny. He had this scene in Act 2, because he's like a genius director, and he's just getting all this praise from all his plays before he has like 13 Olivier's, and he just wants like a bad review for once, and he actually gets a bad review, and then he doesn't like it, and he goes crazy. He's like a puppet. He's like arguing with the puppet, and then he starts smacking the puppet. I don't know. It was just weird. He has this cloak too that he comes out with in Act 1, and yeah, but he also worked well with what he got. So back to the cloak. He had this cloak in Act 1, and he uses it like an acting mechanism, I'm not sure. And then the cloak comes out again in Act 2, when Mika Stock, who plays Gus Behead, the coat check guy, he does a cover or something to Define Gravity, and it was hilarious. And he uses it like to fly, and it was just so great. He was brilliant. He was the male supporting character in this show that I would love to see nominated, maybe even win this season. I like the way he got his time to shine in Act 2 and Defying Gravity. But yeah, it was an amazing Broadway debut, and he was just great. Ira Drew, played by F. Murray Abraham, his character was like really like, I feel like if his character was just like on the sidelines, he was good though. He was funny at times, and his character, I feel like it was just there so that we could see Broadway and the theater critics' points of view. But yeah, so the writing, I did like the 1 through 10 thing that I used to do in my videos. I gave the writing to this play a 6.5 because it's really, really funny, but I feel like if there were these times where the show would like, it was like a roller coaster. Sometimes they had its really high moments, and it's really like, there was never a low moment for the show, but there were like some parts that didn't even really have to be in the play. But other than that, and those three characters, Ira Drew, Peter Austin, and Frank Finger, played by F. Murray Abrahams, Matthew Broderick, and Rupert Grint. I feel like if those characters needed to be tweaked a little bit. But yeah, the direction by Jack O'Brien was brilliant. It's a really well directed show. He was amazing. I hope to see a nomination for him. Anne Roth, her costume design was really really good. It was extremely detailed, and even like the coats and the garments that Gus P. Head will use to bring back into the room were like really detailed and stuff, like the Lion King and the Aladdin stuff. Yeah, that was really good. The set design was very good. It shows, it's very like detailed. You could see like into the closet and a little bit of outside. But yeah, the set design was really really good. I hope to see a nomination for the costume design and the set design. And the lighting design was really really good too. I hope to see a nomination for that too. So today was the opening night for this show, and I really would like to see what Harvey Fierstein has to say about the show. They said some really nice nice things about him and hilarious things. And they said a lot of things about a lot of Broadway stars. So I hope that everyone who was mentioned in the show gets to see it. So yeah, the show is hilarious. It's definitely like a crowd pleaser. I would say if you're not into Broadway and you don't know that much about Broadway, I feel like if this is one to skip because it has a lot of like hard Broadway humor, but it has some funny parts that are not so Broadway too. If you could get tickets, go get it. They're like sold out for the rest of the run, but yeah, go see it. It's only a play at the Gerald Schoenfeld Theater. So yeah, next show that I'm probably going to see is Curious Incident. It got really good reviews in London, and some of my friends liked it too. So, and it looks really, really good. I'm hoping to see that next. But yeah, I'm also gonna be able to see like a lot of plays this season. I'm trying to be a little more involved like in theater, not just like musical theater. But yeah, hopefully I get to see a lot of the plays this season. And yeah, I'll see you guys hopefully next week with my Curious Incident review. Bye guys.